So this is feedback and showing you how to do the solutions on the diagnostic questions, which were all about how to find the circumference of a circle. So there's 5 out of the 10 questions that I'm going to go over in this video, and they are in order of how you found them most difficult. Okay, starting with question 9. What is the circumference of the following shape? Now, the first thing we need to start off with is, of course, the formula. So the circumference of any circle is equal to pi times the diameter, pi d. Pi just being a number, remember, okay? And we need to multiply that by the diameter. So the diameter of the circle goes from side to side, passing through the centre. What you have been given is the radius. Now the radius is 8, centimetres, and that's half of the diameter. So to get the diameter, you would multiply the radius by 2, which is 16. So the circumference of the circle is pi times 16. Okay, now to input that into your calculator, you would do shift and then the times 10 to the X button, and you'll notice pi then comes up on your calculator. You then need to multiply that by 16. You'll notice you'll get 16 pi on your calculator. Now if you press the S to D button, which is just above the delete button, you'll see you get an answer of 50.265 blah blah blah. Now if I round that to 1 decimal place, I get an answer of 50.27. Oh, sorry, I said I was going to round it to 1 decimal place, then started rounding it to 2. So rounding that to 1 decimal place, I would get 50.3 centimetres. Okay, which comes out as answer D. Okay, so you'll notice there obviously there's 2 very similar answers, but using the pi button on your calculator and appropriately rounding, you'll get that 50.3. Question number 10. What is the circumference of the following shape? So pretty much identical to the previous question. So we start with the formula. We've recognised it's the radius that's been given. And to get the diameter, we will need to multiply by 2. So 12 multiplied by 2, of course, is 24. So pi times 24 is what we now need to put into our calculator. So shift pi times 24, press the S to D button, and you will get 75.398 blah blah blah. Again, I'm going to round that to 1 decimal place. So that's a 9, which makes a 3 a 4. Okay, so I'm looking for 75.4, which gives me option A. Okay, and again, 2 very close answers here, but making sure you've rounded correctly will give you that right answer. Question number 8, again, very, very similar. You're asked to work out the circumference, so you start with C equals pi d. We've recognised we've got the radius, and to get the diameter, you're going to multiply by 2. So 4 times 2 is 8, and then you put it into the formula. So pi times 8, press your S to D button, and you get an answer of 25.1327 blah blah blah. Right, these have all been rounded to 2 decimal places, so I'm going to do the same. So that gives me 25.13. Let's have a wee look. That is B. Okay. Question number 5. What is the circumference of the circle? Give your answer to 1 decimal place. So you'll notice there's a pattern. You start every question with the formula. You then recognise whether or not you have the radius or diameter. So in this occasion, we've got the radius again. To get the diameter, you will multiply by 2. Better put in my units. Substitute your value in. And then put it into your calculator. Press the S to D button to bring it up as a decimal, and you get 27.0176, blah, blah, blah. We can see from the answers they're all rounded to 1 decimal place, so I would get 27.0 to 1 decimal place. So our answer would be C. Okay, question number 6. What's the circumference of the circle? Again, start with the formula. C equals pi d. Again, you've been given the radius. Double it to get the diameter. Substitute it into the formula. And I'll get 20 pi. Now, we are in centimetres. Okay, careful. That's 20 pi metres. These are different units. Okay, so if I do shift pi, times it by 20, and then hit my S to D button, what I find out is, on the calculator, I get 62.831, blah, blah, blah. If I round that to 1 decimal place, okay, and use the correct units, you'll notice it's D, okay? Not this one, because it was in metres. It was in centimetres, okay? So your answer is D.